What's up, guys? So I am currently in Connecticut, of all places. Never been to this state before, so a new one for me. And today we are headed to Six Flags New England. Now, very excited to hit up this park. It's got a pretty large collection of roller coasters, including Superman, as well as an RMC. So can't go wrong with that 1-2 punch. Very, very excited to experience that. Now, yesterday we were supposed to go to Lake Compounce, but we were rained out. The park was closed all day due to rain. So today, potentially, we'll kind of speed run through Six Flags New England and then maybe head to Lake Compounce afterwards. We'll see what happens with the weather. It's not supposed to be amazing today either, but it should be good enough up in Agawam, Massachusetts for Six Flags. But back down here in Connecticut for Lake Compounce, we'll see. So we're gonna go ahead and cross state lines, head to Agawam, and enjoy some Six Flags today. All right, so we are taking this nice little pedestrian walkway. They do have tram service here at this park, I saw, but I figured I'd walk. We still got like 20 minutes or so until the park opens. And as you can see, it is quite dreary outside, but hopefully the rain will hold off or at least just be kind of a drizzle here and there. The good thing about it is it's like 70 degrees outside, so it feels really, really nice. And this walkway is kind of nice. So we're gonna get up there. The other positive with the fact that it's so dreary outside is there's only like 15, maybe 20 cars in the whole parking lot. So hopefully we'll be able to get some rides in early on and get ahead of schedule. All right, we are in. I think the first thing we're gonna do is head back towards DC and everything. There is about 10 minutes until the park opens, so we're just gonna chill until then. But yeah, here we go. Welcome to Rockville. Now, I could have sworn this was in Daytona. All right, so we have like a trio of coasters in this back corner, and I am like the only one here at the moment, but Joker, we got Batman, B&M Floorless, and an SLC. So you can take that for what you will, but I'm gonna try and hit all three of these in short succession. Whoa, man, what's a T-Rex doing in Gotham City? I guess we'll start with the SLC. Is this a bad idea? Yeah, it might be. All right, so that was only my second SLC, and the first one I did was Professor Screamore's Skywinder at Six Flags America, which was a horrible ride. So expectations were very low going in, but it was okay, actually. It tracked all right, still jostly for sure, but not nearly as bad as Skywinder. So it was okay. And now we're going from Riddler over to Batman. Not Batman the ride, your typical B&M invert. No. This is Batman the Dark Knight, a B&M Floorless. And I got a Zen ride on Riddler, meaning I was the only one on the train. And it's looking pretty likely I'm gonna get the same thing here on Dark Knight. So Batman, I'm gonna be honest, like all the inversions were very floaty, which isn't bad, but those kind of rides are a bit better when the inversions are whippy. By the way, it was another Zen ride on it, back row. And as you can see, we're heading into Joker. This is cool. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, would it be crazy if I said I liked the SLC more than the B&M? I might have. I'm gonna be so real. But now we're gonna do free spin. I know, a lot of people don't like these rides. I do, okay? I like free spins, sue me. We're gonna do it.
Welcome back, riders. We hope you enjoyed that ride. Please remain seated until the ride is completed. Stop standing up, platform side, fully closed. Don't close the train to the people who are looking out. You're going to lose your smooth winds. While you're standing up next to the ride after your rest of your day, since the next night, make sure to throw them at Batman the Dark Knight.
All right, so we are transitioning from Gotham City to DC Universe. Two different things, okay? Two entirely separate things. By the way, Joker was really fun. Nothing can really prepare you for that first flip on Joker. It was fun. I really like those rides. I don't care what anybody says. All right, we're gonna do this Wild Mouse with a very comically long name. Gotham City Gauntlet Escape from Arkham Asylum. That's a lot, but it's a Wild Mouse. All right, without any further delay, we are going to do Superman the Ride. Now, there's a reason that I specifically am doing this coaster fifth today. It's because it'll be my 300th roller coaster. So, had to do it on a good one. I'm so excited to try this out. So Superman, there it goes again. Amazing ride. It was so good. I loved it. But now we are, and it's getting windy here, but we are heading over to the other side of the park to ride everything over there, including Wicked Cyclone, the RMC. So that's the main thing, but we'll get on the other stuff too. All right, so from one coaster with an elite reputation to another, we're gonna get in line for Wicked Cyclone. You know, just in case like the rain has something to say and shuts things down. Just gotta make sure I get on the two elite rides in this park, and then we'll see what else we can do after this. But just gonna err on the side of caution here, make sure we get on it. So Wicked Cyclone Elite, like quite probably top 10 level. I mean, it was unbelievable. And we are actually now gonna do something, I guess you'd say a little less elite. Flashback, become a boomerang. So is like the millionth one of these ever. All right, Flashback is done. It was a boomerang, honestly. Not really a particularly strong one either. They did not have the vest restraints yet. It was just like the weird, kind of bulky over the shoulder ones. Definitely not one of my favorite boomerangs, not that that would be saying much. And then one ride we are gonna miss today is Pandemonium. Not terribly surprised about that. I had a feeling that would happen. It's just one of those things where if you don't start with it, it's gonna build up a line because of the capacity. And since I've ridden a couple of these, it was a sacrifice, so don't really wanna wait in a long line for it. Dang, so we already saw Rockville and now Corn. I'd love to see Corn at Rockville. I just didn't think it would be like this. And now we're going to head to Thunderbolt, which, by the way, really loving this entrance sign. Very cool, but I do love a classic wooden coaster. This one is an Ace landmark. Love that. So Thunderbolt was a pretty fun wooden coaster. I mean, it didn't do a ton, but had that classic feel to it, which I do enjoy. But now we're gonna grab a ride on Catwoman Whip. This one is pretty much for the credit. And then we're gonna head back up to the front and see if Quantum Accelerator's open, because that's been closed most of the day. There's Catwoman herself. So yeah. So great news for me, Quantum Accelerator is now open. This is the newest coaster here at this park, family launch coaster. Excited to get a ride in. All right, so Quantum Accelerator, pretty fun little family coaster. It's not bad at all. With that being said, by the way, I do love the Halloween stuff out here. But with that being said, we are getting out of here because remember, and if you see the title, this is 2 parks one day. So we gotta head to that second park. All right, Six Flags New England, we are officially done here for the day. Okay, so I quite enjoyed my time at this park today. Got on everything pretty quick. The only rides that I had to wait a little bit for were Thunderbolt and Quantum Accelerator, which were both, you know, a little later in the afternoon and only on one train. But for the most part, I got on everything. Oh man, it's windy. I got on everything really efficiently, which is great because we're also going to Lake Compounce. So that's a little more time for that. This park definitely has a really good 1-2 punch with Superman and Wicked Cyclone. Wicked Cyclone, like I said earlier, arguably a top 10 coaster. If not, it's in the conversation. Just such a good ride. And then Superman also really, really good. So it's a great 1-2 punch. There's a little bit of a drop off after those 2 rides. Lots of other rides that are fun. But yeah, I mean, if you have 2 elite coasters in your park, that's good enough for me, even if the rest are just okay. There were a lot of summer camps today. That chaperone policy could probably have been enforced a little better because, you know, kids, they're gonna be in the parks, especially over summer, but it can just be a little bit annoying. So, you know, other than that, it was a good day, very productive, got a lot done, even got not only did we get through everything, but also got an extra ride on Superman, an extra ride on Wicked Cyclone, so can't really complain about how today went. It was really good, and now we head to Lake Compounce so as to not get rained out this time. And about an hour later, we're at park number 2. All right, we are officially inside America's oldest amusement park. Pretty awesome. And what better way to start than with their classic wooden coaster, Wildcat. Now this one has had a pretty nasty reputation over the years. However, it was recently retracked. So evidently now it's much better. I never got to ride it when it was really bad, so that's good news for me. So Wildcat was a blast. Whatever work they did on it must have been really good because it was very smooth and a lot of fun. We are now heading to Boulder Dash. Now this is obviously like the main attraction of the park. This is the reason you come to this park. And it's the reason I came to this park. So excited for this. This is probably my most anticipated coaster this whole trip. So let's do it. So I gotta be honest, on Boulder Dash, amazing layout. Going out into the woods, super awesome. But that might be one of the roughest coasters I've ever ridden. All of the retracked sections were smooth as butter. They were fantastic. The sections that have not been retracked were genuinely terrible, which is really unfortunate because I was super hyped for that coaster, and I still think it was good, like quite good, but because of how painful it was, it's like it's gonna lose a lot of points for that. I think they should just retrack the entire thing. I don't know if that's the plan. Maybe they're kind of doing it in segments like over time, but that whole thing needs to be retracked because holy cow, like 11 out of 10 roughness. Up next, we're gonna do Phobia Fear Coaster. This is the park Skyrocket 2, and I've only been on Tigris, but I gotta say, I quite enjoy this model. For how small it is, you can't really do much better, so excited to get on another one. Phobia was a lot of fun as expected. Now we're gonna do Ghost Hunt, which is the park shooting dark ride. So that's pretty cool. I wasn't actually sure that they had one of these, so that'll be fun. So that ride was actually one of the better shooting dark rides I've been on as far as like regional parks go. The gun was like really responsive, and it was very easy to see where you were shooting. It even had like a little like red light to let you know. All the targets were responsive, and they all did things when you hit them. It was really good. I wish I could have filmed on it, but they said no filming, so of course we respected that. But now we're gonna do the Scream and Swing. I mean, you know me, like I see a Scream and Swing at a park, I have to ride it. Have you ever ridden 2 boomerangs in one day? Because I'm about to be able to say I've done that. Well, 2 boomerangs in one day, not something I would recommend to everybody to do, I'm gonna be honest with you. But I just wanted to point out how nice this looks for just like a swinging ship type of ride. Pretty cool presentation. Also love like the hill in the background of this park. The lake is over that way, so it is pretty scenic. So their construction for their haunt event is ongoing here with Malignant Overgrown Evil. Unfortunately, what this is blocking off right now is meeting Kyle the crocodile. So kind of bummed I don't get to meet Kyle the crocodile, but I guess since it's for their haunt, I'll allow it. I also just want to point out that this is their kiddie coaster. And guys, you know, I'm usually down to ride stuff for the credit, but I think even I have a little too much shame for this one. I think I'm taller than it, low key, not gonna lie. I also don't even know if they'd let me ride it, to be honest, but that's gotta be one of the smallest coasters I've ever seen. Oh, look at this on the other side of Ghost Hunt. It shoots water. Oh, this is awesome.
We have ghosts and goblins galore waiting to welcome you. And you never know when I, Lucifer, will be here.
That is awesome. All right, Lake Compounce. We are getting out of here. Successful 2-park day today. Efficient at both parks for sure. It was super dead here today at Lake Compounce. The water park looked like it was popping though, so that was good news for me because it made the amusement park less busy. I did like this place. I think the setting is super charming. Obviously the park is very small, but what they do have is good. They have a couple of fun coasters in Wildcat and Phobia. You also have a really good shooting dark ride, lots of good flats. Boulder Dash obviously is the topic of conversation though. I want to love it. I did end up going back for a second ride, rode up in the front, and it was a little better. As amazing as like the Titan track stuff is with how fast and crazy it feels, and the setting in the woods is all phenomenal. Like the forces are good too, especially in the back with the airtime, but you have to ride so defensively. And it's, even when you do ride defensively, it's so brutal at certain points, especially towards the end, that it really, really hampers the experience. And I think if that ride was like running well, it would be top tier elite. But at the end of the day, like I said, I did do it a second time, but the ride I found myself wanting to go back to for more was Wildcat. And Wildcat, you know, they've recently retracked, did a really, really great job on Wildcat. So who's to say they won't be able to do the same thing on Boulder Dash? Hopefully they do. And if they do, I'll certainly come back and get more rides on it, because it should be much higher in my rankings than it will end up. But with all that being said, like I did say, I do like this park. I love like the small, charming kind of parks, especially with like hills and stuff in the background. It kind of has really good vibes in that way. So enjoyed the park. Just wish, you know, Boulder Dash, because they have the standout coaster. They do have it. Just needs to be running better. And then this park would be an absolute gem. But that's gonna do it from me. So thank you for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.